Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Country View Acres. So this morning I've got Rebecca's car on the trailer. I think somebody noticed that in the last video. I got it strapped down this morning. We're gonna take it and get it fixed today. It's got a problem where it might be the rear differential, but it might also be like the power transfer case or whatever at the front engine that transfers it to the back. Not really sure what the problem is, but taking it to another YouTuber to fix it. So I'm gonna take it over to Chris at ShowMe Repair. We're actually meeting halfway, and then we're gonna swap move it onto his trailer. But he's been a Ford mechanic for several years, and now he just runs his own business repairing cars, and he films some of it and he shares it on YouTube. Now I will say I'm not real happy with the tie down job. The fender right here, this fender is like right in the way of this tire, and I think you're really supposed to pull these straight down like the tires. And the only attachment point I have is back here. So this tire, the rear tires are being pulled fairly hard backwards instead of straight down. Now the front tire, it looks pretty good. I think that's more the way you're supposed to have it, where it's tied and pulling it straight down. But I don't think I really have much of a better choice on trying to hook that up, unless I tried to get like a chain or something and try to get it like under the frame right here and up. It might be a little bit of a less of an angle, but I'll probably stop frequently the first few 50 to 100 miles and just double check this and make sure everything's staying nice and tight. But today is not going to be any different than like the last week. It's going to be rain again today. I think we've had about a week of rain, which was crazy. We had like 4 or 5 weeks without rain. Somehow it all missed us before, and now we're getting like a month's worth of rain in 1 week. So we're about kind of flooded out here. We got a lot of rain, a lot of water standing. It's kind of a mess around here, but being a rainy day, probably good use of my time, just go ahead and taking this car over to Chris and let him fix it, because I probably won't get much done outside today. I think it's gonna rain on me. It's gonna start raining here pretty soon. It's gonna rain on me the entire way. All right, let's get heading down the road. All right, just got to a Walmart parking lot actually, and we swapped trailers. We got the Edge on Chris's trailer, and he's gonna take it back to his place and fix it. So right here, this is Chris from ShowMe Repair.
How's everybody doing?
Yeah, and
nice
I'll leave a link to your channel down below, but hopefully I'm sure that I have faith in Chris. He's gonna get the car fixed. And I mean, to me, it was one of those problems, like I just didn't want to throw parts at it.
Yeah, it can get expensive really quick. You definitely want to spend some time definitely pinpointing where it's coming from, what the problem is, just because anything with the drivetrain can get expensive quick. Big parts always cost a lot of money. And so the way I look at it is just take your time, diagnose it, figure out exactly what's wrong.
Yeah, and that's like the problem, like with a normal person like me. Like I don't know how to diagnose something, and you've been a Ford mechanic for several years, right?
Yeah, I was at Ford for 16 years, and now I've been on my own since the end of 21. And it's being on your own is definitely a struggle, but I'm happier now than ever. So.
Well, that's good. So Chris is doing me a favor. He reached out to me when he heard our car was broke.
Yeah.
And he offered to work on it for us. So it's going to save us some money. I've definitely spent a lot of money on this excavator here lately, so I don't really have a lot of money to spend on this car to try to fix it, and it really needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
So Chris is really helping us out. So hopefully I think you're planning on you have a video on this?
Oh yeah, definitely making a video on it. I'm making a video now in the process. I was going over this and then in the process of the trip. And so I'll have a video on that, and then a specific video just for this vehicle of diagnosing it and the repair.
Okay, yeah. So he should have a video on it, and then we'll have to come back and get it here later, whatever. It may take a week or 2 or 3, but whenever it's fixed, we'll meet back up and get it. But yeah, he's definitely doing me a favor doing this, so go check out his channel, especially if there's anybody watching that's into automotive repair.
Yeah.
He gets pretty in-depth on some of his stuff.
Kind of nerd out.
Yeah, so he's very an in-depth mechanic, likes to diagnose, likes the numbers, likes to basically, he wants the data to back it up, what's broken.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, I do.
Yeah, so yeah, check him out. ShowMe Repair on YouTube. I'll leave a link. All right, I just got home a few minutes ago and I have already swapped trailers. Got rid of the equipment trailer and I've got the dump trailer hooked up now. Because over here in front of the carport that we're wanting to relocate, I've got a cherry log sitting here. I saved this from the fence rows we cleaned out. I have it, it's on concrete and it's also on cribbing, so it's up off of the ground. It's been sitting here for like a year, and apparently you need to get cherry logs sawed up fairly quickly because they can rot. But luckily, since I've had it up off the ground, it still seems like it's in good condition. So I'm gonna try to get this in the dump trailer, take it to the local sawmill and see if they'll cut it up for me. So when I go to the sawmill, I'm gonna get their opinion on whether this cherry log's worth sawing up. And I have known the guy for a long time. I trust him to give me an honest answer. So if it is, I'll have him cut it up. If it's not, I guess we'll just bring it home and we'll cut it into firewood. So the sawmill, it's closed right now. So I'm gonna try to take that log over there tomorrow. So right now I wanna go ahead and start back on the carport. I don't see any wasps flying around. Hopefully there's none hidden. But see if we can at least get the rest of this ripped out and get it ready to move. Well, a couple hours later and we got the carport pretty much cleaned out. So got the wall all gone, got the hay feeder, got all the other stuff gone. The only thing that's left in here is all these buckets of tar, which I need to try to figure out what to do with. I think we're to the point now where we could get the anchors pulled out of the ground and we could lift the carport up and we could transport it over to the winter pasture. Not gonna do that today, but at least the carport is cleaned out and it's ready to go. So right now, it is 7:02 in the evening. It's getting kind of late. So I think I'm gonna call it for today and then we'll come back out here tomorrow. We'll get some more stuff done. And we're supposed to get a new piece of equipment tomorrow. It's not our piece of equipment, but we're getting to borrow it or use it for like a year. And I think this piece of equipment is gonna help us out, especially in these barns, being able to clean them out. And it's supposed to show up sometime tomorrow. All right, first thing I want to do this morning is we're gonna go set up a temporary fence and do a pasture move. Moo cows. Moo cows. Moo cows. As these cattle come through here, listen to their feet. Hopefully you can hear that. It is just a swamp out here right now. I think we've got close to 4 or more inches of rain. Come on. Come on. So we did have one steer escape this morning. He got out here, and then when I yelled at him, he went running and he jumped over this fence and got in with the sheep. I'll lay the fence down. Come on, buddy, you jumped it before. You can jump it again. Come on. There you go. Come on, you can do it. Good. Oh, now you don't want to jump it. So they've got this strip right down here in the middle, and then it turns and it goes across the clover area right there. So we got an L-shaped paddock for them. So we've had the cattle out here in this sorghum Sudan grass for 4 days, and they have completely worked it over and trampled it down. It's a lot worse than I wanted it to be. I should have moved them a day ago. But over here is a sorghum Sudan grass that has not been touched. And you can see we've got quite a bit. I'm trying to decide how much more I'm gonna graze and how much of it I'm gonna bale into haylage. I think this just needs to grow probably another foot taller, and it'll probably be ready for me to come out here and mow it down and bale it up. So I may give them a little bit more of this and just save the 1/2 of the field for baling. But I think I'm gonna get plenty of bales from what's out here. I don't think I need to bale it all. All right, it's time to get out the chicken tractor. Oh, at least we hope to get it out. Looks like we got to make a couple repairs. This is Evan. No, you're the first person telling me this. And I'm having a hard time believing that this is an actual call and not a scam. You always do on these scams. They always have more information. No, I'm not. You can come to my house and talk to me if you're a real officer, but on the phone, you could be anybody. And you could be trying to scam me. No. She hung up. All right, I've got the chicken tractor set up out here in the pasture, and then I've got 2 sections of this electric poultry netting going around to make the perimeter. And I ordered another solar fence energizer, and once it shows up, we'll end up moving the chickens out here. So I just unloaded the semi truck, and I'm sure you guys figured it out, but this is a mini skid steer. and it's made by Baumolite up in Canada. It's not a track skid steer. This one's actually wheel driven. I think it's one of the smaller models that they offer. I measured the bucket, and at its widest point, it's only 43 inches wide. So this can fit through 4-foot doorways, no problem, with still, you know, like 3 inches of space on each side for you to drive through. Should work in some fairly tight quarters. So here recently, I've been trying to clean out the white pole barn. It's a mess in there, and my tractor won't maneuver in there and be able to get right up against the edges in the corners. I just can't get everything. And Baumolite reached out to me and they asked me if I was interested in trying out one of their mini skids. And with the white pole barn being the way that it is, I thought, well, this would definitely do a better job. So I said yes, and they've sent that to us, and we're gonna be able to borrow it, I think, for a year. And this isn't a brand new machine. This is a used machine. Somebody else has probably borrowed it and tested it out as well. You can tell there's a little bit of, you know, it's not perfectly clean. There's a little bit of wear and tear on it. But I think this machine will definitely come in handy when it comes to the barns and getting them cleaned out. This may even fit through the doorway of the bank barn to get inside of there and clean it out. I've never been able to put a piece of equipment in the bank barn, and this may be the first. But let's go ahead, we'll give you a quick walk around and show you the machine. Now, I hear a lot of people say that these are Chinese mini skids that they just throw the Baumolite sticker on. But if you look right here at the nameplate, it'll tell you right there, made in Canada by Baumolite. This unit weighs 2,200 pounds. It's got 11 gallons per minute flow on the hydraulics, and it's ran by a 22 horsepower Honda engine, which is right down here. Now, it also says that the tipping weight, where the mini skid will tip forward, with the weight kit is 1,100 pounds. So you can pick up and work with about 1,000 pounds on this without any issues. The weight kit is on here. That's what these are. There's 3 weights on this side. We got another 3 weights on this side to help weigh down the back. So as we walk around, we've got the fuel tank right here. It does take gasoline since it's just running off of a Honda engine. The exhaust comes out the side right here. If you want to lift it up and work on it, it does have a safety bar here that you can swing down underneath it, keep the loader in the air from falling down. It does have built-in tie-down points on it, which is nice. I wish tractors would do that. So the bucket is a mini skid steer bucket. It's got like a quick attachment plate down here. You got these bars that you swing out of the, out of the way to be able to change the bucket, similar to a quick attach on my tractor. It's just smaller. Just got a single tilt cylinder. You can see here it's got third function valves right there. Now above that, this is the radiator fan, and then you've got a headlight in the front. And then this right here, this is the hydraulic reservoir. You fill it here. You got a nice sight glass here on the side to see how much hydraulic fluid is in there. Easy to see. And then right here is the hydraulic filter. So it'd be easy to replace as well. Once you got the machine running, you do have to be standing on this plate for the hydraulic controls to work. That is your safety. It's almost like a seat safety in a lawnmower, except it's a standing safety. So let's go ahead, we'll fire this thing up, see if we can get it off of this pallet, and then we'll go over to the white barn and see if we can do some cleanup. Choke, start. This is your driving, this is your bucket. Drive with one hand. So I got to drive one of these at the Equip Expo back in October, and it had been a while since I'd messed with it, so I forgot how to work the controls. So it's pretty easy. Left joystick, it's forward, backwards, left, and right. And then the right joystick, it's your bucket controls, and it's the same as a tractor for your boom and your tilt. So I think it's something that I'll be able to get the hang of pretty quick. So as soon as I unloaded this, I was looking for the hour meter. I wanted to see how many hours were on it. It's actually down here on the engine. Down here, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, 29.9 hours. So it's still a fairly new machine. I'm sure we're going to put more than 30 hours on it over the next year. Well, this was the third time trying to clean this barn out, and we're able to get closer to the edge with the, real carefully close to the edge. I was able to scoop up against the edge and try to get most of the stuff that I couldn't before. I was able to get around the doorway over there. And I think overall, we got 95, 96% of it now. I think it's pretty good. I don't think we're gonna get too much better than this, but I'm trying to think how much we took out of here. I mean, it's a little bucket. I bet you I had 20, 30 trips over to the compost pile. So we still took out quite a bit. So for my first time running a mini skid, I will say it's a little bit hard to have like finesse with it and to be like real smooth, at least to begin with. I'd say I ran it with the throttle wide open the whole time. And I'd say to get used to the machine, you're probably better to leave the throttle down so it moves a little bit slower so you can kind of get used to the controls. And the one thing that probably bothered me the most about it is this little foot plate down here that you have to step on for the safety. I apparently don't weigh enough. So I weigh about 165 pounds. That's what I weigh. And just driving up and down the driveway, I could get it to bounce enough where it would stop. And then you'd kind of throw you forward a little bit. So I don't know if there's a way to adjust the spring tension under that plate, but I don't really weigh enough for this machine. And that just was happening constantly to me, especially anytime maybe you would do a spin or just like turn or anything, it might cause the machine just to bounce a little bit, and then I'd come up off that plate and then it would stop. But that was probably the thing that bothered me the most. But the mini skid was able to move around the barn and maneuver in there and be able to get stuff that I couldn't get with the tractor. That's where a machine like this I think will be handy, is when you're in somewhere you can't get a big machine or maneuver a big machine, like inside of our barns. I think that's going to be the place that we end up using it the most. But I did run this for quite a long time. I think I put another 2 hours on it. Yeah, I put exactly 2 more hours on the machine. I just want to say thank you to Baumolite for sending us the machine so that we can try this out over the next year. And if you guys are interested in this little machine, I will put a link in the description. So a couple more things happened today that I didn't get on camera. One of them was I got the cherry log that we put in here the other day. I did get that taken over to the sawmill. Had the guy look at it. It was like crooked. It wasn't a straight log. He suggested cutting it in half, and that would make basically 2 5-foot logs that were straight. It'd be easier to make a cant out of them and cut them up. He said I'd end up getting more board feet out of it. I'd get more lumber out of it if I did it that way. So I said, yeah, you can go ahead and cut it in half. And the other thing that happened was the excavator bucket that I took off the other day. I put that up for sale a couple days ago, and I sold that today for $600. And the new bucket I bought, it was about $1,700. So that basically going to pay for about 1/3 of the new bucket, but I'm glad that it's sold, it's gone, and I recouped a little bit of my money. So it's about 6 in the evening now. Rebecca's home already. She's heated up some food in the oven for supper. So I think I'm gonna call it a day and head inside. So hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you next time.